If you read Ruskin's work and some of William Morris's work and some of the later writers in the arts and crafts movement, it was about the ways in which our surroundings affect our character. They really believed that our architectural and natural surroundings, right down to the objects with which we interact on a daily basis, they believed that all of those elements of our daily lives affect who we are and how we see the world. To relate that to the Overbeck sisters, their emphasis on wanting to do something local, that is, it was an American-made product, their use of natural motifs, their use of local clay, and the Overbeck sisters' belief in their ability to create a business of their own is absolutely related to the foundation of the arts and crafts movement.
More than just an aesthetic, the arts and crafts movement was a philosophy, rooted in opposition to Victorian excess and toxic industrialism. A philosophy that somehow made its way from England to the United States to a small house on East Church Street in Cambridge City, Indiana.
Unfortunately, it seems that the residents of Cambridge City are unaware of the Overbeck house and what they produced. And when they come to the library here and see what there is, they're astounded because they had no knowledge of what had happened here in this town.
What happened was the life's work of the Overbeck sisters, Margaret, Hannah, Elizabeth, Mary Frances, and Ida. They established their studio in 1911, and over the course of several decades became known for their fanciful figurines, their skill at matte glazes, and their stylized designs of plants and animals.
And they exhibited on the West Coast and all around the nation, really worldwide.
True to the arts and crafts ideal, the sisters' goal was to produce quality, not quantity. And while they made a living, they certainly didn't get rich.
Sometimes they would sell their pieces for $1 or $2, or maybe a nice vase would be $5 or $10 or $25. This is a rural community. It was a farming community, so people were interested in their schools and their kids and their churches and not so much in art.
But it was a supportive community, one that can still boast of personal connections like the one between Mary Frances Overbeck and a young Leah Huddleston.
I would just go in and sit down, and she would be at this one side of the table making her clay. I don't remember our conversations, but we just talked. She was very pleasant, never did seem to get tired of me just sitting there watching her. And I had no idea of the magnitude of their work.
The women owned and handled all aspects of their artistic enterprise until 1955, when the last of the sisters died and Overbeck Pottery closed. Over the ensuing years, and much to the surprise of many Cambridge City residents, Overbeck Pottery has risen sharply in value, becoming quite collectible. But for some folks, a small figurine or even a vase just isn't enough.
You know, we haven't changed the house very much. We've tried to, that's one of the goals we had when we bought the house, is not really make big changes in it.
That's right. Phyllis and Jerry Matthias are the proud owners of the Overbeck House and Studio.
I was just taken with the house because I thought, what a great family home. There's a bedroom for each one of our kids, lots of room to expand, room to play in the yard.
Initially drawn to the home for more practical purposes, the Matthiases soon realized the significance of the property.
We knew that it was important for that to be preserved. And here you are, working on it.
Yeah, and we're still working on it, even after 47 years. We still are doing things that we had planned to do the first month we bought it. It is a marriage, and the more you work on it, the more you become a part of it, and it becomes a part of you. It's much more than just the house. It's just been our life. It's been our family.
For Phyllis and Jerry and the folks at the Overbeck Museum, it's all about celebrating the sisters' art and working to ensure a lasting legacy.
I don't think they're recognized enough, really, in our state and locally.
It's so surprising to us that people are so unaware of what they have, the heritage here in Cambridge City. Our mission is to inform people and make them aware of what's happening and of the value of the historic area here in Cambridge City and in Wayne County.